Chosen one, listen very closely. What's happening in your life right now is not random. If this message has reached you today, understand, God has just turned something on in your spirit. A shift has started, silently, powerfully, and it's already moving in your direction. The delays, the waiting, the confusion, none of it was wasted. They were signs that God was preparing you for this exact moment. Today, your prosperity has been activated. Doors that were stuck are beginning to unlock. Paths that were blocked are starting to clear. You may not see it with your eyes yet, but your spirit can already feel that something big is approaching you. This isn't ordinary favor. This is divine timing aligning with your destiny. So stay alert, stay open, because what's coming next is going to change your level completely. But before you go deeper into this message, do 3 things to align with God's movement. First, like this video. Second, comment, "I am ready for God's prosperity." And finally, subscribe to the channel to seal your confirmation. Your delays are turning into directions. Chosen one, think about how many times you sat alone, wondering why your life wasn't moving the way you expected. You saw people around you getting opportunities, starting new chapters, achieving things faster. And somewhere inside, a small part of you felt left behind. You kept asking yourself, why is everything taking so long for me? Why does my journey feel so slow? But what you never realized is that these delays were not signs of rejection. They were signs of divine protection. Sometimes, God slows you down, not because He wants to hold you back, but because He wants to keep you away from paths that would have broken you too early. There were places you wanted to go, people you wanted to trust, dreams you wanted to chase immediately, but God could see what you couldn't. He saw the traps, the disappointments, the wrong connections, and the unnecessary pain that waited for you on roads you thought were good. So instead of letting you run into destruction, He gently held you back. What felt like a painful delay was actually God steering you away from heartbreaks you never had to face. And the truth is, if God had given you everything you asked for the moment you asked for it, you wouldn't have been ready. You needed more strength, more clarity, more growth, and more understanding. You needed time to heal old wounds, remove the wrong people, sharpen your faith, and build the emotional maturity required to handle the blessings coming your way. God wasn't denying you. He was preparing you. Just like a seed buried in the soil doesn't bloom instantly, you also needed your time in the dark to grow roots strong enough to carry the blessings that are now on the move. What you didn't notice is that during your waiting season, everything around you was quietly reorganizing itself. People who weren't meant to be part of your future drifted away. Opportunities that weren't aligned with your purpose stopped appearing. Your heart started changing. Your priorities shifted. Even your dreams started evolving. Little by little, you were moving closer to the path designed only for you. It didn't feel like progress because it was happening inside you, not around you. But every internal shift you went through was shaping you for the moment God would finally say, "Now." And now that your season is turning, you can look back and understand why things didn't happen earlier. If you had moved on your timing, you would have missed the right people and the right doors that God reserved for you. Every delay that frustrated you was silently guiding you toward a greater destination. Every "not yet" was actually "not this way." Every closed door was God whispering, "There's a better one." Now the path is clear. The obstacles have been removed. The confusion has lifted. What once felt like a standstill is now becoming divine direction. Those moments where you felt stuck, they were not wasted. They were preparing you for the exact place God is leading you now. Your delay was never the end, it was the route. And today, that route has finally turned into your rising. The burdens you carried are becoming breakthroughs. Chosen one. Think back to the moments when life felt too heavy for your shoulders. The nights where you cried quietly so no one would hear. The days when you showed a strong face to the world but were breaking inside. The times you prayed, wondering why things were so hard for you while others seemed to move through life with ease. You carried so much, often without support, and still you kept going. You didn't realize it then, but every step you took under pressure was shaping you into someone far stronger than you ever imagined. Those burdens were not punishments. They were hidden lessons. You weren't being crushed. You were being carved. Each difficulty was molding your character, stretching your faith, and building a strength that ordinary people do not have. You learned patience because you had to wait. You learned wisdom because you had to make tough decisions alone. You learned resilience because life forced you to stand back up, even when you felt like collapsing. You became a fighter without realizing it. When you were carrying heavy emotions, you weren't just surviving, you were growing. There were moments when you felt abandoned, but the truth is, God was closer to you in those moments than ever before. He saw every tear, every hurtful word you had to swallow, every time you kept going without understanding why life was weighing you down. Your pain was not ignored. It was seen. It was counted. It was preparing you for a future you couldn't see yet. And that's why your breakthrough will not look ordinary. You didn't go through small battles, so God is not preparing you for small blessings. Your future requires someone strong, disciplined, and spiritually awakened. And that's exactly who you've become. Prosperity isn't just about having more. It's about becoming more. Your heartbreak gave you compassion. Your failures gave you humility. Your disappointments taught you how to value real peace. All these hidden qualities are a part of your breakthrough. Now your burdens are turning into keys that will unlock doors that were once impossible to open. Where you were once hurt, you will now be healed. Where you struggled, you will now rise. Where you doubted yourself, you will now walk boldly. God is shifting your energy from survival to elevation. The heaviness that once sat on your chest is slowly lifting because it has served its purpose. Your breakthrough is coming not just because God decided it's time, but because you are finally ready to carry it. The strength you gained through your pain is exactly what will keep your blessings safe. You know how to stay grounded. You know how to protect your peace. You know how to recognize what's real and what's fake. What once felt like suffering has now become your spiritual fuel. God is using everything you once cried about to push you into a life that feels lighter, deeper, and full of meaning. You are stepping into a chapter where your scars shine instead of bleeding. The burdens you carried didn't break you, they built you. And now they're becoming the breakthrough that will transform your entire life. Your spirit can feel a new level awakening. Chosen one. Have you noticed how lately your heart feels different, even if your life hasn't fully changed yet? You might not be able to explain it to anyone, but something inside you feels lighter, calmer, almost like a quiet excitement sitting in your chest. That feeling is not random. It's not your imagination running wild. It's not you overthinking or dreaming too big. What you're experiencing is the early sign of a spiritual awakening, a signal that your life is about to shift in ways you never expected. Before blessings show up in the physical world, they always show up in the spiritual world first. Your spirit feels the vibration of change before your eyes see the results. That's why lately you've been sensing that something new is on the horizon, even if you can't describe it in words. You feel a strange mix of peace and anticipation, like your soul knows a door is about to open, but you just don't know which one yet. This inner shift is God's way of preparing you. He doesn't send blessings to a tired, confused, or drained heart. He first lifts your spirit, refreshes your mind, and gives you a sense of hope again. You may not know it, but the heaviness you carried for so long has been slowly melting away. Thoughts that once stressed you don't bother you the same way. Worries that used to drain you feel less powerful. You wake up with a little more clarity, a little more motivation, a little more strength. This is not a coincidence. This is alignment. Your spirit is being tuned to a new frequency. It's like the universe has started whispering to you, "Get ready. Something good is on the way." And the reason you can feel it so strongly is because your blessing has already been released spiritually. It's already moving toward you. But God needed your spirit to rise before your situation could rise. This is why certain things that once mattered don't matter anymore. You don't feel the same attachment to old pain or old people. You're not reacting the way you once reacted. You're becoming more patient, more calm, more reflective. That's spiritual maturity, the kind that only appears when a new level is waiting for you. Even the silence in your life is different. Earlier, silence felt lonely. Now, silence feels peaceful. You're learning to trust more and doubt less. You're learning to let go without fear. You're learning to walk forward without knowing every detail. This is a sign that your faith has grown stronger than your fear. And that shift alone is proof that you're stepping into something higher. What your eyes can't see yet, your spirit already knows. That inner excitement is the vibration of blessings getting closer. That calmness is the energy of your new season settling in. Your heart feels lighter because it's no longer preparing for pain. It's preparing for prosperity. Your spirit is awakening not because life is easy, but because your next chapter is ready. And soon, everything your soul has been sensing will appear right in front of you. People who left you, made space for what's coming. Chosen one, if you look back at the last few years of your life, you'll notice something quietly shifting. People you once trusted are no longer around. Some left without explanation. Some changed their behavior overnight. Some made you feel unwanted. And some walked away at the exact moment you needed them the most. It hurt. It confused you. It made you question yourself. But what you didn't realize then is something you're finally ready to understand now. Every person who left was part of God's plan. You didn't just lose people. God removed them. And He removed them gently, silently, and intentionally. Not to punish you, but to protect you. You were stepping into a higher season, and not everyone had the right heart to stand with you in that place. Some people loved you only when you were small. They could support you as long as you weren't rising. The moment your spirit started growing, their insecurity got louder. God saw that. You didn't. There were people close to you whose energy was quietly draining you. There were people who would have sabotaged your blessings out of jealousy. There were people who smiled with you but never wanted to see you grow. Keeping them in your next chapter would have brought unnecessary battles. So God did what you couldn't. He disconnected you from what would have destroyed you later. The truth is, prosperity is not just about receiving. It's about protecting what you receive. And God knew that once your blessings start arriving, You will need a circle that genuinely supports you, prays for you, uplifts you, and doesn't compete with you. That kind of circle is rare. That kind of loyalty can't be forced. So, he cleaned your surroundings before the elevation came. It wasn't rejection, it was preparation. Your tears came from misunderstanding the timing. You thought people left because something was wrong with you, but in reality they left because they were not strong enough, pure enough, or loyal enough to walk with the person you're becoming. You're stepping into a season where God's hand is on your life, and not everyone can handle that level of divine favor. Some people were meant for your old chapter, not your new one. And look at you now. You're learning to be more selective. You no longer cling to people just because they're familiar. You've stopped begging for love, for attention, for explanations. Your spirit has matured. You understand your worth. You understand your value. And most importantly, you understand that losing people is not always a loss. Sometimes it's the doorway to peace, growth, and destiny. What felt like emptiness is turning into space. Space for the right people. Space for new opportunities. Space for divine connections. Space for the life you're meant to live. God removed who couldn't protect your blessings, so he could send those who will multiply them. Very soon, you will thank him for every person who walked away, because their exit made room for everything your soul has been waiting for. Your hidden season is ending. Chosen one, you've spent a long time in a chapter where it felt like nobody truly saw you. You were there, showing up, trying your best, carrying your battles quietly, but somehow your efforts went unnoticed. You supported people who never supported you back. You clapped for others, even when no one clapped for you. You stayed consistent, even when life kept pushing you into the background. And silently, you wondered, when will it be my turn? When will someone finally recognize what I bring to the table? What you didn't know is that God had you in a hidden season. A season where he covered you, protected you, and kept you away from certain eyes until the time was right. Being hidden didn't mean forgotten. It meant preserved. When a seed is buried under the soil, no one sees it growing. But that hidden period is the most important part of its development. You were in that same stage. God was strengthening your roots before revealing your fruits. Now something is shifting. You can feel it. You don't feel small anymore. You don't feel invisible the way you used to. There is a confidence rising inside you that wasn't there before. Your voice is stronger. Your vision is clearer. Your heart feels ready. That's because your hidden season is ending and your rising season is beginning. There will come a moment, very soon, when the same people who overlooked you will suddenly start paying attention. Not because you changed overnight, but because your appointed time has arrived. When God decides it's your turn, nothing and no one can block your visibility. You don't need to push yourself into rooms. You don't need to force conversations. You don't need to beg for recognition. Your presence alone will draw the opportunities meant for you. Doors you didn't even knock on will open. People will reach out to you without you asking. Your skills, your heart, your hard work, all the things that were ignored, will finally be appreciated. God is positioning you where you will be seen by those who value your potential, not just your patience. And the most beautiful part? You won't have to pretend or perform. The glow you've developed through your struggles will naturally shine through you. Your aura is different now. Your spirit is stronger. There is something about you that people can't ignore anymore. This glow is not physical. It's spiritual. It's the kind of light that comes only after surviving storms and growing in silence. This next chapter is not about chasing. It's about attracting. It's about stepping into the right places at the right time. You won't feel invisible anymore because God is placing you in positions where your presence has purpose. Everything that once seemed closed off to you is now shifting in your favor. Your hidden season was never meant to last forever. It was simply preparation for a bigger stage, a louder voice, and a brighter destiny. Get ready. Your rising season is here, and the world is about to see the version of you that God has been shaping behind the scenes. Divine alignment is bringing the right people to you. Chosen one. One thing you're about to realize is this. When God decides to elevate your life, He doesn't let you walk into that new season alone. Blessings don't just arrive as money or opportunities. They often arrive wrapped in people. People who guide you, people who encourage you, people who see your value without you having to prove anything. These are not random encounters or coincidences. These are divine alignments, connections designed specifically for your next chapter. In your past, you may have walked through life surrounded by the wrong people. Some drained your energy. Some took advantage of your kindness. Some were comfortable with your struggle, but uncomfortable with your growth. You stayed loyal to people who were never meant to be permanent. And for a long time, you felt unsupported, unheard, and misunderstood. That wasn't because you weren't lovable or worthy. It was because you were waiting for the right souls to enter your journey. Now, in this new season, God is sending people who match your spirit. People who speak truth into your life, not doubt. People who expand your vision, not limit it. People who celebrate your wins instead of competing with them. People who bring peace, not chaos. These are the individuals who help unlock the next level of your destiny. They will show up unexpectedly, sometimes in the most ordinary moments, but the connection will feel natural, meaningful, and deeply right. God aligns you with such people because every destiny requires support. No one rises alone. Even the strongest souls need encouragement. Even the most talented hearts need guidance. Divine connections are like bridges. They take you across places you could never reach by yourself. Some will give you wisdom. Some will open doors. Some will teach you lessons. And some will simply stand by your side when life gets heavy. And the beautiful thing is, you won't have to chase these connections. They will find you. They will walk into your life smoothly, without force, without confusion. You'll feel peace around them because God's presence will be attached to the relationship. There will be a sense of recognition, a feeling that I was meant to meet this person. That's how divine alignment works. It brings people who fit your purpose, not your past. This is why certain people left earlier. God had to clear your path so the right souls could step in. If He didn't remove what was hurting you, there would be no space for what will help you. Now your circle is shifting from familiar faces to faithful faces, from draining connections to destiny connections. As you move forward, pay attention to who enters your life with sincerity, peace, and genuine support. These are the helpers God has sent. They are part of the prosperity He promised you. Some will mentor you, some will partner with you, some will inspire you, and some will simply remind you that you are not alone in this journey. Your elevation is not just about rising. It's about rising with the right people beside you. And now, those people are finally on their way. Your mindset is being upgraded for overflow. Chosen one. Before anything changes around you, something powerful first changes inside you. And lately, whether you've noticed it or not, Your way of thinking has been shifting. You're not reacting the way you used to. You're not settling the way you once did. You're questioning old habits, old fears, and old beliefs that kept you from stepping into the life you truly deserve. This inner transformation is not random. It's God upgrading your mindset for the blessings that are coming. Overflow doesn't begin with money or success. It begins with a renewed way of thinking. God knows that giving you a bigger life requires first giving you a bigger vision. He cannot pour new blessings into an old mindset. That old version of you was used to survival, sacrifice, and shrinking yourself to make others comfortable. This new version of you is learning to think differently, with confidence, with clarity, with courage. Have you noticed how your dreams have grown? Things you once believed were too much for you now feel possible. Ideas that once scared you now excite you. Doors you thought were too big for you now feel reachable. This is what happens when God rewrites your thinking. He replaces fear with faith. He replaces doubt with direction. He replaces small expectations with divine possibilities. You're starting to break patterns that once controlled your life. You're no longer accepting relationships that drain you. You're no longer chasing people who don't see your worth. You're no longer shrinking your ideas because others can't understand them. That's growth. That's transformation. That's a sign that God has begun training your mind for abundance instead of lack. And with this mindset shift comes a new sense of self-worth. You're finally beginning to see yourself the way God sees you: chosen, capable, valuable, and destined for more. You're realizing you don't have to beg for what is already yours. You don't have to fight for a seat at the wrong table. You don't have to cling to situations that limit you. When God elevates your mind, He also elevates your expectations. This new thinking is not loud, it's subtle. You just wake up one day and realize you no longer think like the person who struggled in silence. You no longer believe the lies you once told yourself. You no longer doubt every step you take. Instead, you walk with quiet confidence, knowing that something bigger is guiding you. God is shaping your inner world so that when prosperity arrives, you'll know how to hold it. You'll know how to protect it. You'll know how to grow it. Because overflow is not just receiving blessings, it's maintaining them. What God is doing inside you right now is giving you the strength, discipline, and clarity you will need later. The shift happening in your mind is the clearest sign that your life is about to expand. Your mindset is catching up to your destiny. Your thoughts are aligning with your purpose. And soon, the confidence, hope, and boldness you feel inside will show up as overflowing blessings on the outside. God is clearing the path ahead of you. Chosen one, you may not even realize it yet, but God has been doing something quietly, gently, and powerfully in your life. Situations that once felt heavy are suddenly lighter. Problems that used to keep you awake at night have started fading without you putting in the same effort. Battles you mentally prepared yourself for never even happened. And deep inside, you've been wondering, why did that problem suddenly stop? Why did that situation fix itself? This is not luck. This is not coincidence. This is God clearing your path. When He decides it's time for you to rise, He doesn't just give you blessings. He removes everything that was standing in your way. He goes ahead of you and starts preparing the road so that when you walk forward, you don't trip over the same challenges that once slowed you down. Think about it. How many things you once worried about simply dissolved on their own? How many situations you feared turned out better than expected? How many storms calmed down before they could break you? That's God. He doesn't always show his hand, but he always shows his results. He clears the noise, the stress, the confusion, and the obstacles long before you step into your blessings. Sometimes God removes a person who was draining your energy, not because you asked, but because he knew they were blocking your progress. Sometimes he closes a door you thought you needed, not to harm you, but to redirect you towards something better. Sometimes he delays you, not to punish you, but to save you from a disaster you never saw coming. And now, in this new season, you're going to notice something even more beautiful. Life won't feel like a constant fight anymore. You won't be carrying the same weight you used to carry. Situations will begin to align smoothly. Opportunities will arrive with less resistance. You will feel guided, supported, and protected in ways that are hard to explain but impossible to ignore. When God moves obstacles out of the way, your spirit feels it first. You start walking differently, not with fear, but with quiet confidence. You stop overthinking every step. You stop doubting yourself. You stop expecting the worst. Instead, you feel a strange peace, a sense that everything is going to work out, even if you can't see how. That peace is not your imagination. It's God making straight the path ahead of you. What once felt impossible is becoming possible. What once felt blocked is opening. What once felt confusing is becoming clear. God is rearranging situations, shifting timelines, and aligning opportunities so that nothing can stop what He has planned for you. Every barrier that once stood between you and your next level is being removed piece by piece. Every delay that kept you stuck is losing its power. Every negative energy that tried to pull you down is being pushed out of your life. This is not just a season of blessings. This is a season of divine clearing. And soon you will walk forward and realize that the path you're stepping on is one God prepared long before you even knew it existed. Your next season will not look like your last season. Chosen one, if you pay attention to the quiet shifts happening around you, you'll realize something powerful. The chapter you're stepping into is nothing like the one you're leaving behind. For so long, you lived in cycles that felt endless, struggles that repeated, disappointments that returned, patterns that drained your spirit. You carried weight you never spoke about. You handled storms you didn't deserve. You survived situations that would have broken a weaker person. And yet, you're still standing. What you didn't know is that all of this was leading you to a turning point. God doesn't let you walk through long seasons of difficulty without preparing a transformation on the other side. Your life was being shaped. Your strength was being built. Your character was being refined, all so that when your new season arrived, you would walk into it with confidence instead of fear. This next season is going to feel unfamiliar in the best way. Things that once felt heavy will feel light. Situations that once trapped you will release you. Circumstances that once overwhelmed you will no longer have power over you. You are not returning to the old cycles because those cycles have completed their purpose. God is shifting you from constantly struggling to finally progressing, from surviving day by day to truly living with purpose. You're moving away from scarcity, the mindset of, I hope things work out, into abundance, where you begin to say, I know things are working out for me. You are stepping out of the uncertainty that used to haunt you and stepping into stability that gives you peace. This new chapter will bring clarity, not confusion, strength, not fear, opportunities, not blockages. And the most beautiful part, you're going to understand why everything happened the way it did. The moments you didn't understand will suddenly make sense. The heartbreaks that once crushed you will reveal their purpose. The delays that frustrated you will show their meaning. God was not punishing you, He was positioning you. Every challenge was moving you toward this exact moment of transformation. In this new season, your spirit will feel different. You will wake up with more hope. You will see life with fresh eyes. You will notice doors opening that were once closed. People will treat you differently because your energy is changing. Your faith will feel stronger, your vision clearer, your purpose louder. You won't be the same person who fought through darkness quietly. Now you're stepping into your role as someone chosen, someone protected, someone prepared for greater things. Your next season is not about going back to who you were. It's about becoming who you were always meant to be. Your story is beginning to unfold in a new direction. Your level is rising. Your destiny is unlocking. The blessings that once felt far away are now drawing closer, ready to reveal themselves. Prosperity is not approaching. You're already walking toward it. This time, you don't have to chase anything. All you have to do is receive what God has already prepared for you. Your old season is over. Your new one is here, and it will look nothing like the one you left behind.